So butterflies to me represent my mom because I have my best friend from sixth grade. She, we've been friends for so many years and stuff, and we had a period where she wasn't in my life, and then she came back, and she just butterfly nicknamed my mom, and that's butterflies is my mom. Everybody on her side of the family call her Mariposa in Spanish, which means butterfly, and my mom loves it. We all love it. She's such a joyful spirit, and she just when she's in the room, she just lights up the room like a butterfly. So butterflies to me represent my mom, which is my heart and soul. I hold butterflies very dear to my heart. Like I have butterflies all over my house. I have working on a puzzle butterfly, everything. You name it, I love it. Just because it represents my mom. Well, my name is Dayanara. I am 26 years old. I am an only child. It's my mother and myself. I have a degree in mathematical science, and I don't know. That's it. Me and my mom, our relationship definitely became stronger once she became blind because my mom, she once had vision for many years, and then about 2 years ago she got really sick, and that's when that whole eye complication started. With time, she became legally blind, so I had to transition from her being the head of the house to me being the head of the house and taking upon all her responsibilities along with mine as an adult.
What has that been like for you?
For me, it has been extremely rough, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. It's something that I never expected, never thought it would have happened. You just think of the what if and hopes if she will ever be able to see again. But only time and God and doctors could tell what's going to happen. Well, it impacted my life tremendously. When everything started, I just finished college. 2 months before I graduated college, my mom got really sick, which I almost didn't think I was going to graduate because I wasn't making it to class. I didn't have the time to study. Thank God I was in an organization that they were a big help, and they helped me a lot. And my special friends that I've known since middle school, so they've seen me through the years. They grew my mom. They're practically like family, and so my life changed because I went from graduating college to getting a job in the field that I absolutely loved and I was very passionate about, to having to decide whether I was going to go to work or I was going to quit that and be a full-time caregiver to my mom because I'm the only thing she has. So I went ahead and I decided that my mom's more important and I'm going to go ahead and money and bills will work out by itself. So the funny thing about this friend of mine is that before him, I did not know much about blindness. I thought people were either born blind or you have a physical accident where you either lose your eyes and become blind. And with him, I learned that that's not true, obviously. In his case, he was very similar to my mom. He had diabetes. He was a lot younger, but he had diabetes and lost his vision because of it. And little did I know, 2 years later, my mom would have been going through the same thing. I've never really encountered a blind person, really speak with, or there's not many people I've known that are blind. And he was my first. The thing with him was that during class, our teacher, I was taking a human exceptionality class in college, and our teacher was trying to teach us a lesson. So my friend, he had a special seat. He always sat every day, every time we had class. And my teacher did an experiment where he had everybody get up from their chair, and he moved us where he wanted us to sit, and that was going to be our permanent seat. Little did I know that I was going to get so defensive and so emotional towards that project because I thought this was real. I thought he really was moving our chair to make it permanent. Now, my friend, he already knew how to guide himself through the class to get to the chair. And And to think that my teacher really thought it was okay to change his chair, I went ballistic. Like ballistic, ballistic, ballistic. He had to I was like, no, that's not right. Like, how could you change his chair? You're making it so much the task so much harder for him. And that was a lesson which he was trying to teach us, was that even if a person has a disability, you can't do something to everybody and not do it for them. You still have to do it for them too, so they don't feel excluded because of him not being able to be able to see. He was gonna move everybody's chair but his. He would have felt like an outsider and probably targeted. So that was an eye opener to me. But he realized that I got so upset over it that I was working on campus and he actually showed up at my job after class. He had two classmates walk him over just to say thank you. So that meant a lot to me. And that's how me and him started our bond. I do. I always say that he was my angel. I feel like he passed away, rest in peace. So I feel like the fact that I knew him for such a period of time and that I got the opportunity to meet him was definitely preparing me for what to hold for the future with my mom. And at the time, my mom she was still sick, but she still had her eyes. And he always was like, let me speak to her, let me speak to her. But she wasn't so much for it because she didn't know him. And we never scheduled a conversation to speak. But I wish he would have, because if he probably would have gave her I don't know if it would be necessarily an eye-opener, but maybe, I don't know. But maybe because things could have been changed or different. I don't know. He could have done something different speaking directly to him. Everything about when I met him was, the smallest detail was very important because I met him in college, so he was in school, even though he finished being blind. He got to school and back home, public transportation, bus. He did a lot of things that showed me that even if you don't have your vision, you could get around. And he worked. He worked with the Commission of Blinds. And because of him is that I'm aware of the Commission of Blind program because I had no idea what it was. I had no contact, no nothing. So I remember in our class he gave a presentation and he based it on his job and how he does it. So he gave us these little pamphlets with information, and who would have thought that I kept that pamphlet when everything happened? I was able to turn to that to help me get the services I needed for my mom. Had I not met somebody who is blind and became blind through the same, not the exact reasons, but through the diabetes, it definitely prepared me for this. I feel like I would have been a lost soul if I didn't really have at least an idea of, okay, somebody else went through it too. I feel like when I answer this question, I feel like I'm going to try to answer it for myself. I feel like I've always tried to find advice from somebody who has experienced something that I have or something like my mom, and it's so hard because I have yet to find somebody. I've asked, to join probably groups, and they're really not much around my area that focus on blind and the transitioning because it does, your life goes from color to literally black. So that in itself is hard to adjust to. It's 2 years and she struggles and I'm even struggling and we're still dealing with it. But the only thing I could give advice is you have to just wake up every morning, put a smile on your face, and just do what you have to do. Because she's blind, I am her eyes. So she is glued to my arm all day, every day. I guide her. I wake up to her. I get her from from the bus. I put her to sleep. I feed her. I do everything. So it's definitely a strong bond because she depends so much on me. I feel like I have not gotten to point B yet. I'm still on my way to point B. We're still on this journey. Things aren't clear yet on what's going on or what's going to happen. That's why I feel like I'm not where point B is because I feel like I'm still going through it. But I do know, I feel like point B is like the light at the tunnel. It's like, you're not there yet, but that's what you're working towards. So I was brought up religious, go to church every Sunday. With the years and stuff, I kind of like lost, the whole connection with God. And I feel, even with my mom, like every day seeing her in pain and just not seeing like my prayers are being answered or being heard, I just like you start questioning like why is this happening? Like there really can't be a God to cause so much pain and just not never like almost never ending. But I was told my mom wasn't even gonna make it to the end of the year. And I'll be celebrating my mom's 61st birthday in February. So that means a lot to me. And I just feel like the fact that she's still here, whether she's in pain or getting all these procedures done, she's here, she's happy, she feels the love. She cannot see you, but my mom feels loved. And I appreciate that from the people that are involved. So I'm gonna get emotional because it's my mom.
It's okay. It's okay.
My life changed in a second. Everything started with my mom just going to a regular eye doctor and getting a call from her to pick her up that she's ready. And then feeling like something wasn't right. Like she was just trying to get me off the phone. Like, just come get me. I'm ready to go. To get a call from the doctor to tell me tomorrow you have to bring her to see a specialist because her eye isn't doing too good. First thing next morning, take her. And the next day, my mom was in surgery. She lost her first eye vision. And shortly after that, in a couple months, she lost the other eye. I wish I would have showed my mom many things. And I just want her to know that I love her. And I always ask her to promise me she won't forget what I look like. And she promises me. So I just want to tell you that I love you. I know that you're really sick and sometimes it's a lot and you feel bad because you can't help me. And it's a lot for myself because I don't really have much help. But I will do this 1,000 times over and over and over for you because you're my mom and you did it for me when I was little.